Lord Fleming here. Sunday afternoon in France, and here I am talking to you. What about that? Anyway, I'm going to make a couple of assumptions here because you're watching this video, and these are basically that you're a man, you're over 50, and you're looking for a partner, and you've decided to do some searching in Southeast Asia. You might be looking in other places, which case some of this advice will be relevant. But if you are actually looking at Southeast Asia, then what I'm about to say is really very important that you listen to and take note of. There's a number of reasons why you might be in this position. You might be divorced, you might have had sequential multiple relationships, you might not have had great success with Western women, a whole bunch of reasons, and it doesn't matter. We're going to look today at what kind of women you might meet and who might be suitable partners. Now, I'm not talking about people who are going for a casual bang. Sex tourists, you might call them. I don't have any issue with that. I don't personally do it, but if you want to go to Pattaya or Angeles and spend your money on girls, different girl every night, that's fine. There's plenty of girls there will satisfy this for you, and they will be happy to do it. They're not miserable sex slaves. They're entirely happy with this. They like it. But let's assume that you want something a bit longer. Maybe you're going to spend some time in country, or you're actually looking for a partner. So let's look at the different kinds of women that you might meet. And the first, surprisingly enough, is the bar girl. Now, what's a bar girl? If you've never been to Asia, you don't know. A bar girl is basically a prostitute who is retained on the books of a bar. And her job, notionally, is to talk to customers. The customers then buy her drinks, and these are charged at double the rate of a normal drink. And they're called, usually, lady drinks. And she gets a cut from the take, right? So, a girl who's standing talking to you at a bar, she's just looking for you to buy drinks. Usually. And you'll always know, because she'll say, would you buy me a drink? And you'll go, lady drink? And she'll go, yeah. In which case, you're on a paid contract. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with paid contracts. But bar girls are available for sexual services for what's called short time, which is like an hour, long time, which is overnight, or semi-permanent, we might call it. And that could range from a weekend to the duration of your trip. If you're going there for 3 weeks, fine. If you're going to be there for 6 months, fine. There's always a deal can be made. Not all girls will do that, because by tying themselves down to one guy, they limit their potential income. But it's a regular gig, If you make a deal, she's going to get that every month. This is fine. By the way, I'm having a drink. It's a sombrero, apparently. It's tequila flavoured beer. It's quite nice. But it's a hot afternoon. So, to engage the services of such a person who's going to come and be with you, then it's going to cost you, I guess, base minimum around about $200 a month, up to maybe $400. $400, it would have to be good. For that, you're going to get sex every day. She'll make your meals for you. She'll do the shopping. She'll keep the house clean. She'll be constantly on her bloody phone, as usual, and all that stuff. And if you really can't take it anymore, you'll just say, can you go back to your mum's for a couple of days? And either she will go back to the bar and hunt a few johns while she's not with you, or she will actually go back and see her mum. Like I say, you're going to have to pay her, because she is almost certainly working the bar so she can send money home to her parents. And you're going to end up around about 10,000 baht, which is kind of $250. Baseline start, and then maybe up to 400, 500. If you don't even think about paying more than that, I mean, that's just, you're just being rooked. But you have to understand that a deal like that is purely financial. That's a business deal, right? As soon as the money stops, the deal stops. She goes back to the bar. Simple as that. That's not really the kind of relationship that you can build a life on. So let's look at, you're the kind of person who's committed to the country, you like the place, and you want to establish a life with a woman. So as a man of over 50, single, obviously, What can you expect to meet? Who can you expect to meet? Well, there are really 4 categories that you're going to run into. The first will be the older woman. Right? There's lots and lots of women in Asian countries, Southeast Asian countries, whose husbands are either left them for a younger woman, or they've just died, you know, and the women have been left alone. A lot of these are very fine women. There's nothing wrong with them. As long as you're happy to have a partner who's herself in her late 40s or 50s. That's fine. And remember, this person will have children. Now, they might be grown-up children, but they're still going to be a major factor in your life. In Asia, when you marry a woman, you marry her family, right? That is a rule, don't forget it. It's a rule that really matters. It's important that you understand this, okay? It's not just her. Don't decide you really want to be with a girl until you've met and spent time with her family and you know what they're like. And we'll go into why later, but it's really important that you establish that understanding right up front. You know, as soon as if she's serious about you, she will ask you to come and meet her family. She'll be very happy to do that. And you check them out. You really check them out. Check out what kind of house do they live in. You know, are they obviously shit poor, or do they look like they're actually, you know, comfy enough in life? You know, because if they're comfy in life, they're going to be less of a drain on you. That's the important bit. But maybe you're like me and you don't care to date older women. And really, my cut-off is mid-30s. I wouldn't date a girl over that. Sorry, feminists out there, too fucking bad. I'm not dating you. Go and annoy somebody else. So, amongst younger women, what are your options here? Well, the first option, and this is maybe, I would suggest, that by far the most common, is the single mother. Now, a lot of these are very, very nice women. Some of them are stunning women. And all they really want is a stable male to act the role of father to their children. They're completely committed to their children. They love their kids. You know, Asians just adore family, and children are so important in this culture. And for some reason, occasionally it's because the guy died. More commonly, it's because he was feckless and just disappeared one day. I know one case of, and this woman is stunning. She's, and not just stunning physically, but she's such a nice person. She's a delight. 4 kids. Pregnant in hospital, you know, in the birthing suite with her 4th kid, and her husband phoned up to say, it's over, I'm not ever going to see you again. Nice. And this is the kind of thing that happens, you know. And so you've got a woman there who's desperate. She doesn't have a means of income. She's reliant on her family. And she'll basically say to you, yeah, if you can give me what I need, which is the stable male in the family unit, and the money I need to look after my kids, yeah, I will service you sexually every day. I will look after your house. I'll make sure that you, when you grow old and weak, that there's somebody looking after you. She will make this deal and she will keep it. You have to be prepared to take on the kids. Up to you, you know. I'm just saying what your options are. I'm not saying that one is better than the other. And a lot of these girls would make fantastic partners. I'm not kidding. They really would. Then we get to the next category, which would be the single woman who has not had children. They're very much rarer. But she might well be, you know, in her late 20s, early 30s. She might be plain, and that's the reason she's not with a man, but actually she might not be. She might be very attractive. And for any one of a number of reasons, she just hasn't found a man. And generally speaking, in Southeast Asia, if a woman isn't married by the time she's 20, she's going to struggle. No, this is not the West, right? So you might be looking at a girl who, because this is quite commonly the role of women, who had to stay home and look after her parents while they were sick and dying. You know, and that prevented her from getting involved with a guy. So now she's on the market, older than the competition. The local guys are not interested because they know they can get 18-year-old Totty with no problem at all, you know, or younger. And she's there, and she might be a great partner for you. You know, she could be fantastic. She's going to want kids, right? Bear it in mind. She will want kids. Having children is enormously important for all Asian women everywhere, and no more so in Southeast Asia. So that's up to you. You know, I wouldn't have more kids at my age. I'd be very reluctant to do it. I would be reluctant to take on somebody else's kids, but I don't have as much of a problem with it. I wouldn't want to have any more of my own at this age. If you feel the same, what I would say is you don't have the right to say to a woman, yeah, I will love you and look after you and be your partner, but you can't have kids. I don't think you can actually say you love a woman and then say to her, but you can't have your babies. You know, I don't get that. I can't see that one. Maybe it's just me, but no, I don't see that. But the final type that I would look at would be the ladyboy. And by the way, American idiots, they all call themselves ladyboy. So basically, get lost. You are incapable of pronouncing the local word katoi in anything like a proper sense, and I can't either, and I've been practicing. Never ever even think about using the word bakla to a Filipina. They may call themselves bakla all the time, you know, all the bloody time, on the phone, hey bakla this, hey bakla that. You're not allowed to do it. Don't do it, you'll cause massive offence. Just call them ladyboys, that's what they call themselves. And it's actually accurate anyway. Ladyboys, a lot of Western men are, it's like, oh, we couldn't touch a ladyboy, oh! But actually they make very good partners. They're very, if they like sex, no, they don't all, but if they like sex, then they probably like it very much. If you are giving them what they want in life, they know that it's part of a deal that they have to play their side of. So they will be they'll treat you very, very well indeed. There are two different types of transgender person. I've gone into this elsewhere, look at my other videos. They're called homosexual, transsexual and autogynephilic transsexual. You want the homosexual type, right? Because she's attracted to you as a guy. She was born male, she's attracted to men, right? Now there's no confusion in this girl's mind. She will be very sexually motivated, even if she's on very heavy doses of hormones, which HSTS tend not to be. She makes a good partner, you know. If you've got the mental thing going, yeah, certainly sexually they are fantastic partners, really good. And if there's the mental click, and yeah, that definitely can be done, then you can have a fine partner. So don't rule it out. It has big advantages. You don't have to deal with kids. You might have to buy her some puppies, or maybe a rabbit or two, but actually the list of potential bizarre, weird and wonderful pets is pretty long, but you know, try and keep it down to shiatsus and rabbits, okay? That way it's a bit normal. But these girls will make good partners. Really, really good partners. And don't knock it back just because of your transphobia or homophobia. You know, you're going to Asia. Nobody back home is ever going to know what you do unless you tell them. Huh? So if you find a drop-dead gorgeous ladyboy who says, yeah, I like the cut of your jib, sailor, and you like her, and you know, you like her personally. You know, you go out for a drink and you think, it's a nice person. Actually, I could spend time with this person. Actually, I could like her. You have to carry out all the tests you normally would. You have to make sure she's not a gold digger, that she's not, you know, a psycho hose beast, that she's not crazy, that she's not milking a dozen different guys. But if she checks out, me, I don't have a problem. I like ladyboys and I go with ladyboys. It's not a problem with that. Genetic women also. But dealing with, I wouldn't want more kids, and dealing with somebody else's kids is it's kind of a put off for me. It's not terminal. If I really, really liked the girl, then I would deal with it. But I wouldn't go looking for that. So those are the types of girls that, you know, you as an older man in the West, thinking about going to Asia to find a woman, that's what you're going to be faced with. Okay? That list that I've just given you. Which one you choose, it's very much up to you and who you meet. The one thing I would say is that the bar girl professional arrangement, it's not really a long-term relationship. It's really just a business arrangement. But you can have, and I know many men who have very good relationships with all of the other categories of women. You know, the older woman, the single mum, the younger, not yet mother and wants a family, and ladyboys. And I know men living in Asia with great partners, and they have good relationships, you know, they have a good life together. For both of them, it's a good life. Everybody's happy. And that's all you can ever ask in life. You know, that should be your measure of life quality, is everybody happy? If everybody's happy, it's all good. Okay, I'm going to leave it there now, but for the next video in this little series, I'm going to have a look at where you might meet Asian women, Southeast Asian women. Where's the best place to meet them? I'm assuming you can meet them in bars, but there are other ways of doing it.